Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive.
Yeah.
Today, we are going to be diving into the world of Catullus.
Oh, very nice.
You guys sent over some really cool stuff, a summary of I Hate and I Love,
Yeah.
and some background on his life and times.
Mm-hmm.
And we are going to be exploring the work of a Roman poet
Yes.
whose words resonate powerfully even after 2,000 years.
Yes.
So get ready to uncover some intense emotions, juicy scandals,
Oh.
and insightful observations on Roman society, all through the lens of Catullus's poetry.
Well, what I think is so fascinating about Catullus is that he chose to focus on his own experiences, love loss, friendship betrayal,
Yeah.
themes that are just incredibly relatable even today.
Mm-hmm.
He lived during the late Roman Republic,
Right.
that period of, just upheaval and change. But his work
Yeah.
isn't about those grand historical events.
Yeah.
Instead, he gives us a window into the human heart,
Yeah.
exploring those raw, messy emotions
Yeah.
that connect us across time.
It's like reading somebody's diary from ancient Rome, but written with such incredible poetic skill.
Yes.
You mentioned this famous two-line poem,
Oh, yes.
Odi e Amo, or I Hate and I Love.
Yes.
What can you tell us about its structure and its impact?
Well, the poem's genius, I think, lies in its simplicity and directness.
Yeah.
In just 2 lines, Catullus captures the complex duality of love and hate.
Yeah.
And he uses this stark contrast of verbs to really convey the emotional turmoil that he's experiencing.
Yeah.
The meter and structure of the poem,
Right.
using a combination of iambs and spondees,
Okay.
creates this sense of tension and immediacy,
Yeah.
heightening the emotional impact.
Yeah.
What stands out to you about those 2 lines?
What strikes me is how relatable those feelings are. Even centuries later, this push and pull between love and hate.
Yeah.
I think everyone has experienced that at some point in their life.
Absolutely.
The poem doesn't give any context, but those 2 words alone
Right.
pack such a powerful emotional punch.
Yeah.
And it really makes you wonder, who was he writing about?
Well, that's where the intrigue really deepens.
Okay.
Most scholars believe that Odi et Amo is about his tumultuous relationship
Okay.
with a woman he called Lesbia,
Okay.
believed to be Clodia Metelli,
Oh, wow.
a Roman noblewoman
Right.
known for her beauty and her independent spirit.
Okay.
Their affair was passionate and full of drama,
Yeah.
providing ample fodder for Catullus's poetry.
Sounds like a recipe for some serious poetic inspiration.
Oh, yes.
But also a lot of heartbreak.
Absolutely.
So tell us more about their relationship
Sure.
and how it influenced his work.
Catullus's poems about Lesbia run the gamut,
Okay.
from adoring praise to bitter accusations.
Wow.
He seemed to be completely smitten by her,
Mm-hmm.
describing her beauty, wit, and charm
Yeah.
with a level of adoration that borders on obsession.
Oh, wow.
But the poems also reveal this deep-seated insecurity,
Okay.
fueled by jealousy and suspicions of infidelity.
So it wasn't just a straightforward love story.
Oh.
There was a dark side to their passion, a sense of unease and uncertainty.
Absolutely.
It's almost as if he's trying to convince himself, and maybe Lesbia too,
Yes.
of his love for her.
Exactly.
Do you think that this reflects any societal norms at the time?
Oh, absolutely. Remember, this was ancient Rome,
Right.
where societal expectations, particularly around women and their roles,
Mm-hmm.
played a significant role in relationships.
Yeah.
Especially for someone like Clodia,
Right.
who came from a very powerful family.
Yeah.
Catullus's poems often hint at that tension
Yeah.
between his passionate desire for Lesbia
Mm-hmm.
and the social constraints of their time.
It's so fascinating how he uses his poetry to explore not only his personal feelings,
Yes.
but also the social dynamics of Roman society.
Exactly.
He's not just pouring his heart out, he's also providing commentary on the world around him.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And what's remarkable is that he does so with a level of honesty and vulnerability
Yeah.
that was quite unusual for Roman literature at the time.
Right.
He breaks away from the more formal epic style of poetry
Yeah.
that was common then.
Mm-hmm.
And he focuses on personal experience,
Yeah.
giving us this intimate glimpse into his inner life.
It's like he's inviting us to experience these emotions right alongside him.
Yes.
He's not afraid to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
to show his anger, his jealousy, his heartbreak.
And that's part of what makes him so relatable.
Yeah.
He doesn't shy away from those difficult emotions, those messy parts of love and life
Right.
that we all experience.
Yeah.
But beyond the romantic turmoil with Lesbia,
All right.
Catullus's work also delves into another important aspect of Roman society,
Okay.
friendship.
Friendship, right?
Yeah.
From what I gathered.
Uh-huh.
Friendship, or amicitia, as it was called in Roman times,
Exactly.
play a really crucial role in their society.
Yes.
So what can you tell us about the importance of friendship in Catullus's world
Sure.
and how it's reflected in his work?
Amicitia in Roman culture wasn't just about casual camaraderie.
Okay.
It was a deeply significant bond,
Hmm.
built on loyalty, trust, and mutual support.
Yeah.
And this was especially important during those politically turbulent times.
Right.
And Catullus celebrates this bond
Yeah.
in several of his poems,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting the joy and strength he found in his friendships.
So those friendships were a real source of solace and strength
Oh,
in a
absolutely.
world that often felt chaotic and unpredictable.
Yes. But even those close bonds were sometimes tested.
Oh.
Catullus also wrote poems lamenting betrayals by friends,
Right.
revealing the pain and anger these breaches of trust caused him.
Yeah.
He even names names,
Oh, wow.
exposing hypocrisy and highlighting the fragility of even the strongest bonds.
Wow. He really doesn't hold back.
No, he doesn't.
It seems like he had a knack for exposing the complexities of human relationships,
He did.
both the joys and the heartbreaks.
Absolutely. He was a keen observer of human nature,
Yeah.
and his work reflects both the idealism and the disillusionment
Mm-hmm.
that come with navigating love, friendship, and social expectations.
Right.
And that brings us to another fascinating aspect of his work,
Okay.
his use of satire
Yeah.
to critique Roman society.
Now we're getting to the juicy stuff.
Oh, yes.
I heard that he went after some pretty powerful people in his poems.
He certainly did. We mentioned his scathing attacks on Julius Caesar
Right.
and his associate Mamurra.
Mm-hmm.
These poems, filled with sharp wit and biting sarcasm,
Yeah.
reveal Catullus's willingness to challenge those in power,
Right.
even if it meant risking his own reputation.
It's incredible how he used poetry as a tool for social commentary,
Yes.
holding a mirror up to the elite and exposing their flaws and hypocrisies.
And he did so with incredible skill and artistry.
Yeah.
His satire isn't just crude insults.
Right.
It's cleverly crafted,
Yeah.
often using humor and wordplay to undermine his targets
Mm-hmm.
and expose the absurdity of their behavior.
It's like he was the Jon Stewart of ancient Rome,
That's a great analogy.
but with even better hair.
He definitely had a sharp wit and wasn't afraid to use it to speak truth to power. But beyond the humor,
Yeah.
there's a deeper message in his satire.
What do you think he was trying to convey?
Well, I think Catullus was deeply concerned about what he perceived as a decline in Roman values.
Okay.
He saw corruption, greed, and a disregard for traditional morals,
Mm-hmm.
and he used his poetry to expose these flaws
Yeah.
and call for a return to a more virtuous society.
It's amazing how these themes still resonate today.
I know.
We are still grappling with questions of corruption, social justice, the abuse of power.
Absolutely.
It seems like human nature hasn't changed much in 2,000 years.
And that's precisely why Catullus continues to be relevant.
Mm-hmm.
He reminds us that these struggles are not new,
Right.
that they are part of the human condition.
Yeah.
His work offers a window into the past,
Right.
but it also illuminates the present,
Mm-hmm.
forcing us to confront our own values and the challenges of building a just and equitable society.
This is incredible.
It is.
We've only just scratched the surface of Catullus's world,
I know.
and I'm already hooked.
He's a very interesting character.
He's a passionate poet,
Yes.
a sharp satirist, a social commentator,
Mhm.
and someone who seems remarkably relatable even across the centuries.
Absolutely.
I can't wait to dive deeper into his work
Yes.
and explore the different styles and techniques he used to convey his message.
Well, the next part of our deep dive will do just that.
Okay.
We'll explore the range of his poetic styles,
Yeah.
from the intimate lyric poems
Right.
to the grand elegies and the biting epigrams,
Okay.
analyzing what makes each one so unique and impactful.
All right.
Stay tuned, because we're about to uncover even more layers
Okay.
to this fascinating poet and his enduring legacy.
All right. Sounds good.
Okay. Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Catullus.
Yeah.
We've just begun to explore the life and work of this complex and fascinating poet.
Yeah.
What strikes me about him is how he masterfully uses different styles
Right.
and forms of poetry to express a wide range of emotions and ideas.
Hmm.
It's not just the content that's compelling, but also the way he crafts his verses.
That's what I find so intriguing about Catullus. He doesn't just tell us about his experiences.
Right.
He uses language in a way that makes us feel those emotions right alongside him.
Yes.
It's like he's inviting us into his inner world,
Exactly.
letting us experience the highs and lows of his life with him.
And he doesn't shy away from experimenting with different forms,
Yeah.
each serving a specific purpose
Right.
and enhancing the emotional impact of his poetry.
You mentioned earlier that he wrote in several
Oh,
styles.
yes.
What are some of those and what makes them unique?
Sure.
Well, there are those intensely personal poems,
Yeah.
the ones where he's pouring out his heart about lesbia,
Yes.
filled with longing, desire, and sometimes even bitterness.
Mm-hmm.
What would you call that style of poetry?
Those would be his lyric poems, considered a hallmark of his work.
Okay.
They're characterized by their emotional intensity,
Yeah.
often expressing personal feelings and experiences in a very direct and intimate way. Think of them as snapshots of his emotional landscape, capturing fleeting moments of joy, sorrow, jealousy,
Right.
and everything in between.
Yes, those are the poems that really get under your skin. You can practically feel his heartbeat in those lines.
They're very powerful.
But he also wrote those poems of mourning,
Yes.
those lamentations filled with grief and reflection.
Right. Those would be his elegies,
Okay.
often written in response to loss or tragedy.
Okay.
One of the most famous is his elegy for his brother,
Right.
a deeply moving and personal expression of grief.
Yeah.
But even in his sorrow, Catullus's artistry shines through the elegy's structure and meter,
Yeah.
create a sense of solemnity and melancholy,
Okay.
enhancing the emotional weight of his words.
It's incredible how he can shift from these intensely personal, almost confessional poems to these grand elegies exploring universal themes of loss and mortality.
It is remarkable.
Talk about range. But what about those short, witty poems we touched upon earlier? Those almost feel like the ancient Roman equivalent of tweets,
Oh, very much.
full of zingers and social commentary.
Those are his epigrams,
Okay.
known for their brevity, wit, and often satirical edge.
Okay.
Think of them as carefully crafted verbal jabs, sometimes playful, sometimes pointed, but always memorable.
So he was using those epigrams to poke fun at people,
Yes.
to call out hypocrisy, or just to make a clever observation about society.
All of the above.
Oh, wow.
His epigrams offer a glimpse into his sharp wit
Right.
and his keen observation of human behavior.
Yeah.
They're like little windows into the social dynamics and cultural quirks of ancient Rome.
That's so cool.
He uses humor to critique social norms,
Yeah.
expose personal flaws, and even take down some of the most powerful figures of his time.
Speaking of taking down powerful figures,
Yes.
you mention his attacks on Julius Caesar.
Oh, yes.
It's incredible to think that this poet had the audacity to challenge someone like Caesar,
No.
even in a humorous way.
What's fascinating is that Catullus' satire isn't simply mean-spirited.
Okay.
He uses humor to expose hypocrisy, highlight contradictions, and challenge the status quo.
Right.
It's almost as if he's using laughter as a weapon,
Yeah.
forcing his audience to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and their society.
It makes you wonder if Caesar ever responded to those satirical jabs. Can you imagine being on the receiving end of one of Catullus's epigrams?
Well, we don't have any record of Caesar's direct response.
Okay.
Some historians believe he might have even been amused by them.
Really?
Caesar was known for his political savvy and his ability to deflect criticism.
Yeah.
Perhaps he saw Catullus's barbs as a minor annoyance,
Okay.
or maybe even a sign of the poet's talent.
It's almost like a battle of wits playing out across the centuries.
Yes.
Caesar with his political power.
Right.
Catullus with his pen.
Exactly.
Both vying for influence in the Roman world.
It's a fascinating dynamic,
It is.
highlighting the power of language and artistry to challenge authority,
Yeah.
even in a society as hierarchical as ancient Rome.
Yeah.
But beyond the satire and social commentary,
Yeah.
what truly makes Catullus's work endure
Right.
is his ability to connect with readers
Mm-hmm.
on a deeply personal level.
It's like he's speaking directly to us across the centuries, sharing
Yes.
his joys and sorrows, his passions and frustrations.
That's
We
right.
might not live in ancient Rome,
Right.
but we can still relate to the emotions he expresses in his poetry.
That's the magic of great literature.
Yeah.
It transcends time and place,
Mm-hmm.
connecting us to those who came before us
Yeah.
and reminding us of the enduring power of the human experience.
And what's remarkable about Catullus is that he achieves this connection not just through the content of his poems, but also through his mastery of language.
Absolutely.
Yes, we've talked about his different poetic styles.
Right.
But I'm curious to know more about his specific techniques.
No.
The way he uses language to create such vivid imagery and evoke such powerful emotions. So what are some of those techniques?
Well, one of the hallmarks of Catullus's style is his use of vivid imagery.
Okay.
drawing upon the natural world, mythology, and everyday life
Yeah.
to create powerful metaphors and similes.
Mm-hmm.
His language is sensual and evocative,
Yeah.
appealing to all the senses and drawing the reader into his world.
I noticed that in some of his poems about Lesbia, he describes her beauty in such detail,
Whoa, yes.
using comparisons to flowers, stars, and goddesses.
He does.
It's almost as if he's trying to capture her essence through words to make her beauty immortal.
To make it timeless.
Yeah.
He also uses strong verbs and evocative adjectives,
Okay.
creating a sense of immediacy and emotional intensity.
Yeah.
Even his word order, the way he structures his sentences,
Right.
contributes to the overall effect.
Okay.
He often uses enjambment, running lines of poetry together without punctuation,
Okay.
creating a sense of breathlessness and urgency,
Right.
mimicking the rapid heartbeat of someone in love.
It's fascinating how these technical elements of poetry can have such a powerful impact on the reader's experience.
He can.
It's not just about the story being told,
Right.
but also the way it's told, the rhythm and flow of the language,
Exactly.
the choice of words and images.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And Catullus was a master of these techniques.
Yeah.
Wielding language with precision and artistry to create a truly immersive and unforgettable reading experience.
Yeah.
But beyond the technical brilliance,
Right.
what truly sets Catullus apart is his emotional honesty. He doesn't shy away from expressing his vulnerability,
Yeah.
his doubts, his fears, even his anger and jealousy.
It's that raw honesty that makes him so relatable, so human.
Absolutely.
We see ourselves reflected in his words,
Yeah.
even across the centuries.
We do.
He reminds us that it's okay to feel those complex emotions,
Yes.
to embrace the full spectrum of the human experience.
And in doing so,
Yeah.
he invites us to connect with him on a deeper level, to recognize the shared humanity that binds us across time and space.
It's a testament to his genius that his poetry continues to resonate with readers today,
It is.
offering solace insight
Yes,
and a profound understanding of the complexities of the human heart.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But there's still more to uncover.
You're right. I'm eager to delve into specific examples of his work
Yes.
and analyze what makes them so memorable and impactful.
Let's do it.
How about we take a closer look at some of his most famous poems
Sure.
in the final part of our deep dive?
I'm happy to. Let's explore the heart and soul of Catullus's poetry.
Okay.
The verses that have captivated readers for centuries
Right.
and continue to offer a profound reflection on the human experience.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the world of Catullus.
Yes, welcome back.
It's amazing how we can connect with someone who lived over 2,000 years ago
I know, it's incredible.
through the power of their words. His poetry is so raw,
It is.
so honest, and so full of life.
It's a testament to the enduring power of human emotion and the artistry of language.
Yeah.
Catullus's ability to capture those universal experiences
Mm,
of love, loss, and longing
right.
is what continues to draw readers to his work.
You've mentioned that he was known for his scathing satire,
Oh, yes.
especially his attacks on Julius Caesar. Let's delve into those a little deeper.
Okay.
What exactly did Catullus find so objectionable about Caesar?
Well, while we can't know for sure,
Right.
many scholars believe that Catullus saw Caesar as embodying the corruption
Okay.
and moral decay that he felt was plaguing Roman society.
Right.
His poems targeting Caesar often use humor and wordplay
Okay.
to expose hypocrisy
All right.
and highlight contradictions in Caesar's behavior, especially around his ambition and pursuit of power.
It's interesting how Catullus uses humor as a tool
Yes,
to critique those in power.
it is interesting.
Do you think this reflects a wider trend in Roman satire? Or was he particularly bold in his approach?
Catullus was certainly pushing boundaries
Yeah.
with his pointed barbs, especially given Caesar's growing influence. Roman satire often employed humor
Right.
to expose societal flaws and ridicule individuals.
Yeah.
But Catullus's attacks on Caesar were particularly direct and personal,
Okay.
revealing a willingness to challenge authority head-on.
So he was really going after him.
It was. He even targeted Caesar's associate Mamurra,
Right.
accusing him of various vices and excesses.
It's almost like he's using satire to hold up a mirror to Roman society, forcing them to confront their own failings and hypocrisies.
Yes. And what's fascinating is that he does so with incredible wit and skill.
Yeah.
crafting his insults in a way that is both memorable and thought-provoking.
Right.
He doesn't just resort to crude name-calling. He uses clever wordplay, double entendres, and biting sarcasm
Right.
to undermine his targets and expose the absurdity of their actions.
I'm curious to hear some specific examples.
Right.
What are some of his most memorable lines or images
Yeah.
from those satirical poems?
There's one famous line where he refers to Caesar and Mamurra as twin sons of Romulus,
Oh,
implying that they are both degenerate descendants of the city's founder.
wow.
It's a subtle but cutting insult,
Yeah.
playing on Roman mythology and ancestral pride.
Right.
He also accuses Mamurra of being a spendthrift,
Okay.
squandering his wealth on lavish parties and extravagant gifts.
It's amazing how he can pack so much meaning into a single line,
I know.
using historical references and wordplay to create a multi-layered insult.
He's very clever.
It's no wonder his poems continue to fascinate and intrigue readers even today.
His satire offers a glimpse into the social and political dynamics of his time,
Right.
revealing tensions and anxieties
Yeah.
that often simmered beneath the surface of Roman society.
But beyond the political commentary, Catullus is perhaps best known for his intensely personal and often heartbreaking love poems dedicated to Lesbia.
Absolutely.
Yes, let's dive into those.
Okay.
We've touched on his tumultuous relationship with Lesbia, but I'd love to explore some specific poems that showcase
Sure.
the depth and complexity of his emotions.
One poem that stands out is Poem 85,
Okay.
often simply referred to as Odi et Homo.
Right.
It's a masterpiece of emotional brevity,
Yeah.
capturing the conflicting feelings of love and hate in just 2 lines.
It's incredible how those two words, I hate and I love, can evoke such a powerful emotional response.
I know, it's amazing.
There's no context, no explanation.
Right.
Just those raw, unfiltered emotions laid bare.
And that's part of what makes it so impactful.
Yeah.
The poem resonates because it speaks to a universal experience.
Mm,
Those moments when we are torn between conflicting emotions,
right.
unable to reconcile our feelings.
Yeah.
It's a reminder that love is rarely simple or straightforward,
Right.
that it often comes with pain, doubt, and confusion.
Another poem that I found particularly moving is Poem 51,
Yes.
his adaptation of a poem by the Greek poet Sappho. It's a beautiful and poignant expression of the overwhelming power of love.
That poem is a wonderful example of how Catullus draws inspiration from earlier literary traditions, while infusing his own unique voice and perspective.
Yeah.
He describes the physical and emotional sensations of being consumed by love, the racing heart, the trembling limbs, the inability to speak or think clearly. It's a powerful and relatable depiction of the intoxicating
Right.
and disorienting nature of love.
It's like he's giving us a window into his soul,
Exactly.
letting us experience those raw, unfiltered emotions right alongside him.
Yes, we might not be facing the same circumstances or societal pressures,
Right.
but we can still connect with the intensity and vulnerability of his feelings.
Exactly. And what makes his love poetry so compelling
Yeah,
is that he doesn't shy away from the darker side of passion.
absolutely.
He acknowledges the jealousy, the possessiveness, the despair that can accompany love. He doesn't present a romanticized view of love.
Right.
He shows us its complexities, its contradictions, and its potential for both joy and heartbreak.
It's that honesty that makes his work so enduring.
Yeah.
He's not afraid to show his flaws, his weaknesses, his moments of doubt and insecurity.
Right.
It makes him feel more human, more relatable, and ultimately more sympathetic.
His willingness to be vulnerable, to expose his inner turmoil, is what connects him to readers across the centuries.
It does.
He reminds us that it's okay to feel those messy emotions, to embrace the full spectrum of the human experience.
And in doing so, he invites us to connect with him on a deeper level,
Yeah.
to recognize the shared humanity that binds us across time and space.
This deep dive has been an incredible journey.
It has.
We've explored the life and work of a poet who's passionate, witty, insightful, and surprisingly relevant to our own time.
Absolutely.
He used his poetry to explore personal experiences, challenge social norms,
Yes.
and offer insightful commentary on the human condition.
Catullus's legacy lies in his ability to connect with readers on a deeply personal level, reminding us of the enduring power of human emotion and the artistry of language. His work continues to inspire, challenge, and provoke,
Right.
offering a timeless reflection on the joys and sorrows of the human experience.
Thank you for taking us on this deep dive into the world of Catullus.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
It's been an enlightening and enriching experience.
It has been.
And to our listeners, if you're looking for a poet who will make you think, feel,
Yes.
and question the world around you, then look no further than Catullus.
A great one.
His words continue to resonate across the centuries,
They do.
offering a powerful and timeless reflection on what it means to be human.
Absolutely.